Endurance running has experienced a massive surge in popularity in recent years, with 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons and marathons attracting people of all ages and abilities. A common theme that I see with athletes is that they mismanage their fueling strategy. They underestimate the amount of energy required to fuel their training. If this is left unmanaged, it can lead to underfueling, under-recovering, it can lead to a plateau in their training and lead to burnout or injury. Endurance running requires a lot of planning for their training and their nutrition. So carbohydrates are your body's preferred energy source for long-duration, high-intensity exercise. When our carbohydrate stores are adequately filled within our muscles and our liver, they can support 60 to 90 minutes of high-intensity exercise. That is why you need to consider carbohydrate loading in your fueling strategy for a marathon. Carb loading, also known as glycogen loading, is a nutritional strategy used by endurance athletes to maximize their glycogen stores to fuel their event. Quite simply, carbohydrate loading is having a number of carbohydrate-rich meals in the lead up to your event to make sure you have enough fuel in the tank to support your performance. This process begins typically 2 to 3 days before your event. The main aim of carbohydrate loading is to do the fueling early so the athlete can eat a lot more comfortably on the day of a race. A lot of athletes might experience some nerves or digestive issues, so you want to make sure you have the fueling done early. The main aim is to hit 8 to 10 grams of carbs per kilo of your body weight. So for a 70 kilo runner, that could be 560 to 700 grams. Carbohydrates should make up 70 to 80% of your total energy intake. The focus should be on complex carbohydrates such as pasta, rice, noodles, potatoes or oats. However, a lot of athletes struggle with large volumes of food, so simple carbohydrates or low fiber options such as pancakes, cereal bars, jelly sweets, jams, they can all be used to reduce your digestive load and help meet those higher targets. A general rule of thumb that I use with athletes is 1, to make sure they have a good meal structure, and then have 3 main meals and 3 to 4 high carbohydrate rich snacks. Using liquid carbohydrates such as fruit juices, smoothies and sports drinks can be a simple and effective way of increasing your carbohydrates without adding lots of extra volume to your meals. Ideally, an athlete will practice their carbohydrate loading 3 to 4 times before their event. This is just to make sure that they can tolerate the higher volume of carbs, that the foods they consume is well tolerated from a gut perspective, and then they can build out their best practice plan. How to optimize your endurance for race day. What you eat before your race will depend on when your race begins. If you have 3+ hours for your race to begin, you will consider slow digesting carbohydrates and some protein. This could be overnight oats, eggs on toast, a smoothie made with oats. If you have less than 2 hours before your race begins, you want to have high carbohydrate, low fiber, low fat option. The reason why you want low fat and fiber is because it takes a little bit longer to digest, which may cause some stomach discomfort. Good options here could be pancakes, toast, cereal, and a smoothie. The main aim during your run is to avoid hitting the wall. This is when your carbohydrate stores become diminished and you feel like you can't push on with your performance. Athletes need to have a fueling and hydration strategy if they want to perform at their best. The main aim is to consume 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. This can be in the form of gels, chews, sports drinks or glucose sweets. They're generally the most popular. For your hydration, aim to have 100 to 150 mils, which is around 3 to 4 mouthfuls every 15 to 20 minutes of electrolytes or a sports drink. One of the biggest mistakes that athletes often make is not practicing their carbohydrate load in the weeks before their race. This can lead to some digestive issues, not being able to tolerate the higher carbohydrate needs, which can have a negative impact on their performance.